Hello, welcome. I know it looks weird. The setup looks different. There's no StreamYard in the corner, or this corner. Um, that's because I went to go set up a stream today, and I had gone over my stream limit for my free account. So I was like, okay, fine, StreamYard. Well, I can just use OBS. Still not paying your astronomical fee for membership anymore. So yes, so the stream looks weird, unless you come for game night, which is usually Fridays, then you recognize the setup. But yes, we are using OBS right now, and that's how we're going to do the stream. I don't know how different that will make anything, but excuse me. I will not be able to bring up comments, that's for sure. Yeah, that is it. Hello, JC. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Um, but yeah, I think that's it. I do have a special scene for writing because I used to use OBS to stream Writingsprints on Twitch before I found about a StreamYard. So my headset feels weird with my hair. Hold on. Everything's weird. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So yes, so I have that. I set that up. I readjusted it for YouTube, being that all the like visual settings were for Twitch, and I also readjusted the camera for Spirit City. So yes, that is how everything's going to function. Today we will definitely not be going over any of our time. I'm going to try to keep us at 3 hours because I need to wake up extra early. I'm going into work earlier than normal because I have to leave early. So I'm trying to like manipulate the system. So I need to attempt to go to sleep early. Attempt being the big word. So, let us move over to, here we go. All right. Oh, let me set up our sounds and let's sit in the chair. We haven't sat in the chair for a while. Hold on. I don't think I want the water bottle. Let me... You can have dumplings now. I'm buying that. We're not putting that on the table right now, but I'm buying that. There we go. We'll have this. I know it's boba tea, but I just think of it as like a tea soda kind of thing because I don't like boba tea. So there we go. I didn't want the water. Hello, Laura. You made brownies again. Yummy. I just had the last of my sugar-free pie from Sprouts. It was very good. The brownies sound so good. Let's see. right. Everything correct. Yes. Just make sure everything looks good. From both sides, yes. Watched the first half of the Two Towers with my mother this morning. Oh, that's nice. I have not watched any Lord of the Rings stuff in like a hot second. I don't remember the last time I watched anything to do with the Lord of the Rings. It has definitely been a time. Do I want? Let's do keyboard sounds because we're at the desk. And make it nighttime. It's too bright. Too bright. Okay. Alright. I think we're good. Got everything set up. Are we writing tonight, ladies? Or are we reading? Are we resting? Before I start the sprint. Oh, also, actually, let me go back to my face cam real quick. There we go. Dr. Pepper came out with a new flavor. Don't focus on me. Focus on the bottle. There we go. Dr. Pepper Blackberry. It's actually pretty good. It just tastes like a little bit fruity. Which is nice. I didn't ever try the strawberry flavored one because I don't like strawberries. I like cherries. And I don't like the cream. So I was like, you know what, this one I'll try. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I will say that. Let's see, resting or something, I guess. Alright, JC's resting. JC is gathering strength to take over the world. Exactly. Exactly. Are you gonna be writing, Laura? I saw all your goals on the Discord. I'm just like, good luck, ma'am. If anyone can do it, you can. Also, if anyone is watching the replay of this and reads Hungry Desire, I have a post up on Ream and on Patreon explaining that we're going from 2 chapters a month to 1 chapter a month from here forward, because I misjudged some stuff, so I have to adjust the publishing schedule. So let's see, Laura's, I'm on pins and needles as feedback rolls in. I'm so nervous. My fear is validated. The Theoro romance moves way too fast. What is theoromance? Hold on, let me look this up. I do not recognize this word, this term. Oh, the romance. You just squished it together. Okay, I see it. I see it now. I see it. I see it. um, uh, it's my final alpha reader. Alpha reader. Romance moves way too fast. I mean, no, your book is longer. So I was going to say, sometimes it makes sense for a romance to go quickly. But I know that this is not a shorter book. This is a longer book. Curious. I'm sure it'll be fine. You've written plenty of romances. It's more of just figuring out how best to portray this couple's story, this couple's romance. And maybe your excitement for it is bleeding through, and maybe that's what they're catching. Or you're just a little too excited. Just bring it down, just teensy bit. And slow it back, or add more elements into it to like elongate it, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe feed the like emotional part of the romance more versus the physical part, or vice versa. My book odds 83. Okay, yeah. Right now, off the romance, we're probably paced it. Would probably be 95. Is not all. Okay. No, you're good. No, I understood what you were saying. I'm just trying, again, without having any knowledge besides what you've told me of the story, like in streams and stuff. I'm sure there's a way to still pace it well and keep it under 90. I'm sure there is. And it's just gonna be, how do you balance? How do you balance plot, and then how do you balance the romance? Especially if you're trying to give them equal value. And if not, and like the plot of the story, I was trying to remember your genre and it pulled out of my brain. I can see it in my mind's eye, the word, and I can't say it. But if it can't, or you don't want it to be, then the romance being paced quickly may not necessarily be a bad thing if you're trying to focus more on the plot than the romance. But if you're trying to kind of keep them more equal, then I'm sure there has to be a way for it to work out. So, I'm sure there's a way. My autocorrect trying to keep Laura from being great. Exactly. I need to take some spice scenes out for sure. There are 8 in this draft. Might go full slow burn in revisions. But the problem with that is, does that make sense for A, your story, and B, your characters? Because if they are meant to kind of just, if the relationship is meant to burn quickly, then the pacing is fine. Then the characters are fine, and that storyline is fine. The people reading it might just not be used to something like that. I don't have a lot of experience with reading like fast burn romances, but I know that they're there and they're present, and some people like them. So again, don't pull like a whole 360 if it doesn't make sense for your characters. Because then you're telling a total different story. So you can still take out some of the sex scenes, maybe take out sex scenes and put in more emotional scenes that are maybe softer, or just kissing, or just some kind of emotional tension that still feeds into the romance, that could be shorter than a detailed version of a sex scene. Or you can have a closed door sex scene, even though there's others that are open doors, have less detail in them. I mean, some people, when people read book 2, which is what I'm writing right now, some people may disagree or whatever. We'll see when people start reading it. But I'm writing erotica, but I literally do have a closed door scene in... Actually, technically, I kind of have 2, but for sure I have 1 in the book, because in that moment, the sex isn't necessarily important, so I didn't care to detail it. So there are ways around it. You have to just make sure that you're not ruining the story you're trying to tell. The note was out felt well, the note was that it felt like fan fiction with a generous number of spy scenes. It's not okay. Also, there is a threesome before proper all the way with just the 2 of them. Being like fan fiction isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's a shit ton of authors right now that all came from the fan fiction world, and are quite successful. But what does that mean? My question would be, what does that mean that it feels like fan fiction with a generous number of spy scenes? Because I have also read a plenty of a fan fiction that was beautifully written, and I'm like, this person could write their own book and publish it, and like, they have the talent. I can see it. So I personally, me getting that advice, like that critique from somebody, I'd be like, you need to be more specific, dude. This is not helpful. Like, they should be running, not banging right now. But if that's how the story needs to start, that's how the story needs to start. If it needs to start with sex, it needs to start with sex. Like, I don't see an issue with that. Then again, I also don't necessarily read in the genre that you're writing. So that's just so complicated. Yes, because there's a mission and Hadrian needs to save his mom. Okay. I totally see what they mean. I felt it when I wrote that particular scene. I knew it would need to be changed. Okay, well, I mean, that's good. If you thought that, then okay. That's fine. Sometimes I feel like, and this goes for like lots of different genres, people are so used to reading things one way, and they're not willing to read things presented in different ways that are still faithful to whatever genre it is that the author is writing in. So I don't know. But in the end, my basic advice is to make sure that your story stays true to what you wanted it to be. Even if the one alpha reader doesn't like what you're doing, it might still be the correct thing for you to do for your story. Would it work in another story? Maybe not. But for yours, it might work. I don't know. Question marks. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, well, let's do a 25-minute sprint to get going. My hair absolutely hates me today. Okay. All right. 25 minutes and 1, 2, 3, go. as helpful. I had to rethink of my brain because I'm in Raphael's point of view, and I need to be in Raphael's point of view, but my brain kept unhelpfully giving me options for other people's PV. But going back to what we were talking about before with Laura, she said that all the alpha readers had the same notes. Romance is too fast. Like, I need to let them sit in their feelings a bit and not just plow forward at breakneck speed. They can't root for them can't root for them as much as it stands. There's not even an almost first kiss. It's straight on, aphrodisiac induced. Let's get laid right off the bat. So, I hope you're still here, Laura, because I have a suggestion for you when it comes to that. Because a romance doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. So, as I think I've mentioned before in other videos and stuff, what I find interesting about writing like erotic romance is that it very much pulls out into 3 different plot points. You have your plot for whatever genre you're doing, if you're not doing straight erotic romance. But fantasy, sci-fi, whatever the like baseline story is. Then you have your erotic string and your romance string. And sometimes these things can be weirdly intertwined. So with my 3 characters in book 2, I have a scene where Raphael and Lucia are sexually intimate for the purpose of removing a plug from her. And also trying to like be undercover and pretend that they're like buying her and they're testing her out. So it's like a combination thing. But in that whole scene, they don't kiss. It's a very physical action where he's trying to relax her and he's trying to make her feel safe so that he can remove this plug that is very obviously too big for her and is hurting her. So later in the story, I have a moment where they're actually intimate with each other, and I give them their first kiss after he has seen her pretty much naked. He's touched her intimately, and everything. I take the moment to reassess the emotional beat within that relationship. And I think you could still do that the same way. So I remember you talking about the aphrodisiac scene and talking about that it was important to the plot. So you could still keep that and make, even if they do kiss during that sex scene, you can then make their first consensual kiss that big moment still. And even still do an almost first kiss kind of thing, because it will be a first emotional kiss. You can still do that in the book. You can still have that I want to say like emotional manipulation of the reader. Um, but you can still do that where maybe something is happening and they're getting close to each other, and the person, whoever it means the most to, be in their point of view, or be, because I don't remember if you're doing this in third person or first person, but be in their POV or their perspective, or however, say it from their view of the build-up, and them be excited for this, like, this is gonna be my choice. I want this. I want to feel this again, but also feel this for the first time, and then pull away. And then when you actually give it to them, you can thread it through as, I remember this, but it feels different, or it feels better. I remember this sensation, or it feels how I remember it, or it's stronger than the dream of the aphrodisiac, or however you want to phrase that. You can still give people that romanticness, because I remember you talking about how you were afraid that this book was going to be more erotic, and you weren't trying to write an erotica. Pulling back and threading through, making some of the sex scenes more emotionally strong, and maybe pulling back from as much descriptive of the act can also help. Because in the end, we all play the word manipulation game. And it's however you phrase the thing is what matters. So, that is my advice to that. I don't know if that would be helpful, but that is my advice. But in what I'm writing right now with Raphael, I have our poor angel boy struggling to sort out his feelings, and he once again has run away from the situation in panic of himself. So, poor Lucia, and now Asha, having to be like, what is wrong with our angel boy? Why is he running away? I do not understand. He's just a nervous boy. He's just a scaredy boy. He's a little scaredy angel. He may be a soldier in the heavenly fields, but emotions are scary. He is the epiphany of the emotions are scary, and I don't know what to do with this. I thought I figured out emotions, but I was wrong. I have this new thing that's an emotion, and I don't know what to do with it. It doesn't fit with the other ones. I will say though, I reread the like make-out-ish scene that I wrote Monday to prep for this, and I really like it. I like, even though they really hardly do anything, but I like how I wrote it for her to have this for sure realization that she does love Raphael. And I'm kind of excited to have a similar scene with Asha for Lucia. Very similar. Or very excited. That's what I meant to say. Words. Oh, thank you, Esther, for the view. I appreciate it. I hope the rain sounds and stuff can lull you to sleep. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh. Alright. Well, I think we're going to start another sprint. Of course. Good night, Esther. Yeah. Okay. Oh, JC, I'm curious. Did you hear my whole rant that I had for Laura? But I'm pretty sure she's not here. Not entirely. You're good. I was just curious. I was curious. Okay. Well, let's start next sprint. I think I came back at the tail end of it. That's good. I figured you went to go get tea or go to the restroom or something. Or you were in the midst of a nap. Alright. 25 minutes. And 1, 2, 3. Go. all done with that one. I am. We are spiraling right now. Raphael is trying to convince himself that everything is wrong, but all he can think about is positive stuff for Lucia and Asha and wanting why these feelings are okay, and he is just spiraling with the no. The religious guilt is strong right now. It is strong right now. Anyone who has religious guilt reading this will recognize what I'm doing. Did I intend to do this? No, but it falls in line with the first book and all the like religious stuff that I put in there. I just realized I have been just hitting myself at this point, I think. Yes, I have. Should I just leave it on the screen, or should I put myself full face when we're talking? What do you guys think? Because on StreamYard, I can like do like a half-seas thing. But I don't have something like that set up here. I am very curious when I am done with this, and the prequel, and have people read it. Anyone who has pulled away from the church, how they will feel from it. I am curious. I'm curious how this will translate. Or even people who are still in the church, how it will impact them. I'm very curious. Very curious for those two standpoints. I definitely know that when I publish the book, I am expecting people to be very upset. I am expecting people to be angry because of the religious condensation. What the hell? The religious I can't think of the word now. The religious factors in the book. There we go. That's close enough. So, I realize my new friend here, you guys can't really see him because the mic is blocking him. And I did not realize that. But it's okay. how did everyone else do? Did anybody else get anything done? I'm curious. Okay. Well, I'm going to put 35 minutes because I do need to use the restroom for the ridiculousness of that. Dinner. Ah, I knew you were gone, Laura. I just walked and I'm... Ooh, in the tub. That's nice. That's nice. I did earlier give you some feedback on the last two things you had written. Even though I had a feeling you weren't in chat anymore. But I did give feedback. But what did you have for dinner? I'm curious before we go to next point. Cool, or rewind during the sprint. Okay. What did you eat? I'm curious. You guys always have the like best dinners, best foods. I am always surprised. Orange and honey salmon with rice pilaf. Wow. That sounds nice. And green beans. That sounds nice. See, if I didn't cook for a week, I could probably do things like that. I don't know. Maybe one day when I grow up and I have a steadier life. That sounds really good. And brownies for dessert. Yes, the brownies. Best thing ever. Okay. Well, let's do the sprint. 35 minutes because I have to go to the restroom. Alright. And 1, 2, 3. looking at that. We had a Dale Nell pop into the chat. Welcome. I don't know if you're still here. Thank you. Oh wait, let me turn that off. Okay. And then Jenna the writer subscribe. I forgot that Stream Elements did that because on StreamYard, Stream Elements doesn't work as effectively. So I forgot about that. And I still have not figured out why my alerts don't work. So we don't get alerts, but it's fine. Yes, they're still here. They said hi. Welcome. Let's see. Coming back to Laura's situation, I'm glad that my advice seems good for you. But I do have to say, so you said that you're debating which direction to go with Prism Strings. Right now the spice is very graphic. Wondering if you should pull back and make it more the style of Nightmare Before Christmas. Have the world be dark and gritty, but the relationship wholesome at least by the end. So that is a possibility. You can move it in that direction if you would like. As long as, again, remember your core story of the relationship has to stay the same. You don't want to change it because you already have that storyline in place and it works with the plot. I would say Nightmare Before Christmas, their relationship is very emotional. So even the like closed door scenes that we get, everything is based very heavily in like the emotional impact that it's having between the two characters. So what I could say that you could do to still keep some of your scenes that you've already written, and especially the aphrodisiac scene, which is a very important thing, what you can do is kind of a reverse, I would recommend. So you have like the aphrodisiac scene, the full-on sex scene, and slowly take something that is very physical and start to develop an emotional relationship. So you can keep some of your sexual scenes and then transfer some of them, either take some of them out, turn some of them into softer emotional elements, and then as the book comes closer to the end, perhaps transition some of the graphic sexual scenes into emotional sex scenes, where you're not focusing as hard on the actual element of sex, but how they're feeling, what is happening to them inside. That way you don't have to completely overhaul everything you have. Again, unless you want to. But I feel like a lot of your hesitation has to do with the fact that your storylines thread very well together. So, inside, yes. Yes. Your storylines thread very well together, so you can keep them threaded. You can just like alter the thread within the rope of your plot of your book. Maybe. So that's what I would think and maybe recommend, because in taking even the idea of turning it into something like Nightmare Before Christmas. Instead, wait, what's this? I was giving an explanation and I said inside, and Laura took the opportunity to make the joke. I was giving advice, JC. That makes sense. Okay, good. I'm glad it makes sense. Sometimes I feel like I just babble, and I don't know if I make sense. But yes. Because I feel like right now, and listening to a lot of like booktubers do reviews or talk about other people's reviews on like Goodreads and stuff, a lot of people are complaining about like insta-lust now. Like lots of people are getting annoyed with insta-lust, and I can see where that happens, but I feel like you can still manipulate that insta-lust, and as long as you translate it to the end where they're not just physically attracted to themselves, they are emotionally connected, the line still works. Like the plot still works. Because there are people that are physically just attracted to each other and then later have a very deep relationship. So it is logical. Oh, okay, well, Laura does have good jokes. Yes. Oh, that was great. Oh, thank you, Dale. Thank you. I need to do some soul searching on what I really want this book to be. Yeah, that is also a possibility. Just decide, what do you really want your core story to be, and how does everything thread to get to the ending that you want. So that, I think, is important too. Don't be afraid to destroy your book to make it something better, but also don't destroy your book because other people think you need to. So, weird balance. Also, I'm going to query this, need to figure out what is more likely to get picked up and published as well. Oh, yeah, that's true. The downside. The thing that I'm glad that I paused my trad pub journey for a moment. The stress of like, what will publishers want? Ugh. Yeah, a little bit yucky. Sigh. But also, I would like to think, and sometimes it happens, if the book is good enough, people will buy it. And when I mean people, I mean like publishers. So, but also other people. Also normal people. Not big companies. But what did peoples do during the stream? I know JC just suddenly jumped into the chat. Sounded like she was either busy or getting more food or something, or drink. Let's see. Hard to write with publishers in mind, right? That's a whole skill. Yeah, on its own. Yeah, exactly. The ability to read the industry and the trends, and even almost like predict trends to a certain extent, that is definitely its own skill within itself. When I watch the few people that we have on AuthorTube that are traditionally published and how things work, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's such a hard balance trying to appease the beta readers. Yeah, what I initially wanted. Like, how much of this book is me just trying to run from my conservative upbringing, and is that okay? Well, I mean, it's okay to write something that breaks that hold, especially if you don't want to be constricted by it. As someone who has done that, I grew up a very strict Catholic family who was also very conservative, the good girl, the like person who did everything right, um, and had a lot of realizations after I got older and I moved out of home and married my husband who was not controlling and allows me to be a person and learn and expand and grow within myself and with me. So there was a lot of things I learned that ended up just breaking who I thought I was and allowed me to find out who I am. And some of my books reflect that. I mean, Project Blasphemy is literally a whole series that has religious tones and comments on uh, religion and people and trauma. Um, the Princess and the Warrior is a book talking about a, a woman who her whole world kind of connotations, yes. Thank you. Oh, her whole world ends up, or what she thinks is her whole world ends up being destroyed and coming out bruised but a stronger woman afterwards. So it's okay to like work through things through books as long as you're willing to accept that that's what you're doing. If this book has to be, quite sexual and it still works with the story and that's what the story is, then that's what it is and that's okay. It's okay that you're running away from that. It doesn't need to be that. It doesn't need to be covered up if it's not meant to be. It's okay to embrace. So, as someone who comes from the same idea, I think it's fine. And it might be good. It might be healthy. Excuse me. Dale got 726 words. Awesome. Yes, of course. Thank you for stopping by and leaving the likes and showing up. It's very appreciative. JC did went to go eat. Let's see. Dale, some of the best books and stories are in when we work through what our lives have been and make room for those stories for others. Exactly. For sure. And even if this book doesn't get picked up by somebody to be published, this might just be something you need to write. Even if it's just a thingy for you. You just needed to get it out and work through this, and you worked through it with a book. So, but also, again, do not lose the thread of your book by trying to appease beta readers, because not all beta readers are correct. Because everybody has an opinion and not everybody is correct. Actually, ironically, in talking about this, I'm literally having Raphael go through this mini crisis of like emotions and feelings about what he feels with Asha, or with Lucia being in a relationship with Asha, and who he is as an angel. Like, the religion trauma is present, struggling. I have my angel struggling with that right now. When he thought he was free of everything. Things run deep, and sometimes you gotta work through shit. I think this book is just me running from my past and not processing it. Need to do some soul searching. Well, I think by writing it, you're processing it. Maybe it's just that you need to embrace that this is how you're processing. Might be helpful. Because I will say, when I was writing The Princess and the Warrior, it took me to do a tag video to realize why I was writing that book and what it was doing for me. So, and maybe that will also help you figure out like how far things need to go. So, always options, always thoughts. What did you eat, JC? I'm curious. I asked Laura earlier what she ate. So, what did you eat? Because now I'm just curious. Let's see. Honestly, right now, I'm writing a queer love story in a dystopia that's all about found family. It's okay to write as part of what you process and do it in community. Yep, exactly. Very, very, very much so. Very true. Let me change the timer back to 25. So I don't have to leave. Bring that back up. I think JC ran away again. That, or she possibly is doing a clip. Let's see. I should do a video going over my story. Still need to nail down the thing. Yeah, you could do that. That could definitely help you figure things out. Oh, JC appears. Didn't run away. I had, because I said that because I had asked you what you had for dinner, what you had eaten. But Laura, yeah, you can do a video, and that might help, just talking, like verbally talking through the process, like you're talking to one of us verbally. That might help, and it might help even more because you're doing it on your own and you're private with yourself, so that might be helpful too. And again, you don't ever actually have to post the video. It can just be something that helps you work through stuff. And you can also post it, but you don't necessarily have to. Let's see. I'm multitasking and apparently failing at it. Multitasking is a thing. I have slowly learned that I might not actually be so good at it, excuse me, as I thought I was. I'm just very good at starting something and then stopping, and then starting another thing, and stopping, and then maybe going back to the other thing. Maybe. My masking is breaking. Oh, I had leftover. Ooh, chicken pot pie. Like the nice chicken pot pies? or like one of the Frozen ones? Questions. Questions. I mean, because I like both, but sometimes just one of those chicken pot pies from the freezer section sometimes just hit right. Just hit right. Actually, I like the beef pot pies. Because if I make chicken pot pie, I make chicken pot pie. But I never make beef pot pie. I always, if I want it, I usually go buy it. Don't know why, but I do. Sometimes you just need the processed food to like make your life right. Ew, people pie is not not my thing. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And it's very much an indulgent thing. It's not something that I eat often. I usually either make chicken pot pie or like chicken pot pie / dumpling thing. Sometimes I smush things together in the crock pot. But yeah, the beef pot pies are, I don't know. It's like an indulgent thing. Do you all consider yourselves pantsers? So I consider myself a discovery writer, where I might know certain points that I need to hit in my story, but that's about it. Everything else is just as the words flow. I don't really have a plan, except maybe how the book is going to end, maybe something in the middle, or some stuff in the middle, and then the how I want the beginning to end. Or I have like a specific scene that I want to write somewhere in the middle. It's usually how I function. The closest thing to like plotting that I have done is for my serial story. I needed to follow a calendar timetable for the holidays and for parties. So I have like December 20th, they're going to this event, and like December 21st, going to this event. It's the closest thing I've gotten to plotting, but literally it's just telling me what's happening that day. I don't know where that is going to be in the book or like in the stories, like what chapters they are, like nothing besides the event. So it's the closest thing I've gotten to plotting, but I know it's nowhere compared to other people's stuff. Let's see. Laura says maybe I should start the outline sooner before world building is complete and organized. See what I'm keeping from my beginning chapters. Yeah, you could do that. You could definitely do that. Yes, to outlining. I don't outlining. I just know of her. I don't know her. I don't know her. She lives nowhere close to me. Laura says I pants the first draft. I pants my short fiction too. I have outlined a novel before though, my first one. There we go. So Laura's like a pantser that has fiddled with plotting. Dale says very cool. Discovery writers have always been really impressive to me. Yeah, I just go with it. I just go with the flow of where the story takes me. I know the story and I just need to find it. If I start trying to plot, I immediately hit a wall and cannot think about what to do. I have tried different ways, unintentionally tried to plot also, and have ruined stories for myself. So I really can't do any kind of outline without hitting a wall and not knowing what to do. So, let's see. Laura says, I think headlights work best for me. Write a few bullet points for the chapter right before I write it, but I'm going to give a full outline a try again. You go. I cannot. The last time I attempted that, my brain stopped working. Because I literally did that. I wrote like a few chapters of my book and then tried to expand my bullet points that I have, my like point markers, into something. I don't even know why I was doing it, but I started doing it and just hit a wall. My brain was like, error. Let's see, Dale. I'm definitely an all-in outliner. Spreadsheets and beat sheets. Oh my gosh. It sounds overwhelming. But hey, if it works for you, it works for you. And that's what matters. Whatever gets the story out. Same. JC. Dale. It's like Stephen King, right? He says outlining totally kills the story for him. He's got to discover it to feel motivated. But dang, the lack of an outline makes me fizzle out. And then nice, JC. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I think that's the beauty of, like, writing is different for everybody, which I think is sometimes the tricky part of giving writing advice. Because even if, let's say, the majority of writers are plotters, that doesn't diminish the other part that are like somewhere in between or completely pantsers. It's just how each other's brains work and function well. And then you always have those people that are successful at forcing themselves to work in a way that actually isn't congruent with how they function. You always have those people. You have the like chaos pantsers who actually would thrive so well and force themselves to be plotters, and it still works, but in reality, if they just let themselves go, it would be so much better. So, let's see. And see, I don't understand that. Every pantser I know has gotten to a point where they have gotten stuck and they seem to lose motivation for the story because they now don't know where it's going. Outlining eliminates that. See, I have not had that problem, and I don't know if maybe it's because I always have a point of where I'm getting to. Sometimes I'll be unsure of how to get from this point to this point. Like, I think it was last week, I was asking everybody's advice on if I should have Asha and Lucia have a secondary sexual scene and it just be more emotional, even though they've already had a sexual scene. That was more of like, I have multiple possibilities. All of them are great. I'm not exactly sure which one I want, so I want opinions. But I know how to get from here to here. I know I have to get from here to here. I think really the only time I've ever had where I didn't necessarily lose emotion, I felt just like I was lost in the woods, was when I wrote The Princess and the Warrior, where I was kind of just unsure of what to do in the middle of the book, but also my life was chaotic at that time, so that could have also been a factor. Have I had that? Have I done that any other time? No. I don't think so, because even with me stopping Project Sci-Fi Romance, that was more because I was confused on what I wanted to do with it and was having an identity crisis. Because now I know if when I go back to it, I know actually how I want that story to go. And that it actually is not just a spicy romance. It would actually work well as an erotic romance. So that was more of an identity crisis. And let's see, Project Aztec Death Love. I stopped that mostly because I was worried about it copying Hades and Persephone and feeling like I needed to find a better way for it to reflect the Aztec god, a god and goddess of death. So that was more of a lack of information and how to make this fateful. But I know how I want the story to go. So yeah, no, I haven't had that. I haven't had that where I've gotten stuck and lost motivation. The closest thing was to The Princess and the Warrior, where I would say it definitely felt more like, if we go with the description of like a headlight driver, where you just see slightly far, or like you know where the point is. For whatever reason, I pulled off the side of the road and got out of the car and got lost in the woods for a bit and had to find my car. I would say that in The Princess and the Warrior, that is what happened. For whatever reason, I got out of my car, I got lost in the woods, I had to find it again. But I still knew where I was going. I don't know, I made a pit stop for some reason. A lost headliner, exactly. Yes, there you go. That was what that story happened in that story. But I've never had that happen again. I mean, I don't know if that will happen in the future, but that's never happened again so far. It's more of like, occasionally, I'm not sure which route to take to get to the next point, because there's just multiple ways to get there. So I have to think about it. Or ask for advice, like I did for this one, where I asked people's opinion and then made a decision. But again, that's what makes everybody's writing style perfect and unique for themselves. Like I said, I have tried to write an outline and my brain just stops. It just errors. It's just like, I don't know what to do anymore. But let me just keep writing and I will be good. I will be fine. Laura, the one novel I was drafting for a camp a few years ago, I got stuck because I was writing a chase scene and it was boring me and I can't skip and write out of order. It was a sci-fi, of course it was cannibal. Horror, you gotta throw in that horror, Laura. Story in the near future in California. Interesting. Oh, I feel you on writing chronologically. I honestly I can't write out of order either, which sometimes drives me insane because I really want to get to a point. But I'm not there yet. Which will then sometimes result in like me writing shorter chapters and stuff. And then when I go to do my first read through, I have to fix that. I have to like make the chapter better or the scene better. So I was just rushing. Also the story sounds amazing. Yes. But I can also get that where sometimes like you're not exactly sure how you want the scene to be fully detailed and it gets boring or repetitive and you just need to be like, I'm done with it now, let's move on. Let's see. Oh, we have description here. The MC can carve chunks of himself force feed. Oh my gosh, Laura. Okay. Force feed them to people and it turns them into flesh-eating monsters. Oh my god, Laura. You're going to give me nightmares of just reading your description. Oh my god, okay. Everything's fine. I'm good. Everyone's fine. Dale. Wait, that's fantastic. I would read the hell out of that. You should, oh man, Laura, I don't have, you can link yourself. I don't have a command for you. I should do that. Laura has a collection of horror short stories called Tiny Shivers, Dale. I am a chicken, so I have not read it, but everyone says it's amazing. And I have read / listened to enough of Laura's snippets and drabbles of other things that are not so terrifying to know that it has to be as amazing as everyone says. So I definitely recommend you check that out. It's on Amazon. And she has an audiobook of it. I definitely recommend it. I'm too chicken to read it. But you should if you like them. There's like food horror and everything. No, but it's good. I'm a scaredy cat. Laura, ta-da! His dog bit him once and was turned. Oh my god, no! Why the puppy, Laura? No, I don't want to know that. Tiny shivers. Buttons. Where are my buttons? Let me see real quick. Haha. Oh, you found it? Okay. I was like, I brought it up. I was going to bring it up and put it in. I'll still put it in chat. There we go. Yay. I should make a command for you, Laura. Yes. You're welcome. It's very good. It's just scary, and I'm chicken, so I can't read it. JC was brave enough and read it and has said that it is scary, so I am not doing that. I'm too scared. Laura traumatizes me enough in chat. I don't think I could handle a whole book. I don't find it scary, but of course you don't find it scary. You thrive on the horror. I'm just like, no, I can't. No human had ever remained sane long enough to count them all. Excuse me, this is the most mental. There you go. Yay, Laura. Yay. Me scaredy cat. I can't. But I will hype the book up because I can't read it. Okay, well, with that, let's do another 25 minutes. It might be the last sprint. We'll see where I end in the scene, the time, and how I feel. Because I do need to wake up a little bit extra early because I got to go to work earlier than normal. So we'll see. We're at least going to do another 25 minutes. Because if I can, I would like to finish the scene. Okay, let's do that. 1, 2, 3. past that, I am like right at the end of the scene. Right at the end. Let's see. Laura says, I should be working on world building, but I'm just staring at my phone. That's fair. I took a 2.5 hour nap today, but I'm not quite ready to sleep again yet. That's fair. It's a pretty decent nap. I would say that's sleep and not nap. That's what I would tell my husband. Like, if you sleep longer than an hour, it's not a nap, it's sleep. You just slept. Which is still nothing wrong, but you sleep. So maybe you'll come up with inspiration for the book while you stare at your phone. Dale says, "LOL, I'm just staring at the the blank page. That's scary. Of my prologue and eating watermelon. Oh, watermelon sounds so good. But it's winter." And I'm sure all the watermelon's gross right now. I feel that. Yeah. Laura says, Roy is laying down at the foot of the bed like a good boy. Oh, soft and clean, yay. Oh, did Roy have a bathy? Did he have a bath? Did he get all cleaned up? Or did he go to the groomer? My sister takes her cats to the groomer. I swear, constantly. Yes, JC, I am playing with the thing, because if you can tell, the majority of the stream, I've been animatedly talking with my hands a lot, so there's been no reason for me to mess with anything. But I'm a little bit calmer, so I went straight for grabbing the thing. Yes, I am playing with the thing. It's summer in New Zealand. Well, welcome. That's nice for you. It makes sense for sure. You eat watermelon. It is cold here in the desert of Arizona. It is cold. Great watermelons, yes. Laura said, you gave him a bath today. Yes. Okay, good. Roy's not a stinky boy. He's a clean boy. Good job, Roy. Does Roy like bath time, or does he give you a big bunch of issues? I remember one of my aunts trying to bathe their dogs and just gave up at some point and was like, fine, you're just an outside dog. Because he was horrible. Though that was when I was very little too. So JC laughing at me. Laura, he is indifferent to baths. Doesn't like water on his face though. Me too. I don't like anything. I don't like the splashies on my face. No, thank you. No. So I wash his head last. That makes sense. I mean, that's also kind of like how you wash little kids and babies. You very meticulously wash their head. I know that from being the oldest of multiple siblings and cousins and having to help with bath time. Or just have to bathe kids because I'm babysitting. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. It is 10:30. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Yeah, no, I should probably end stream and get some food. I might try to finish the scene while I eat dinner and take my medicine. before I go to bed. Or I might just leave it. We'll see. But I should end stream because I need to wake up, and I just checked my alarm and how much time I had left, or I have, for sleep, and it's like right at my minimum. So I should go to bed, or like get off stream so I can prep for all that. Because family is making me leave work early. So thanks for a great stream. Got some words. I'm glad that the stream was successful, Dale. I stream at 7 p.m. Arizona time, sprints every Monday unless something's happening. And then on Friday is usually games at 7, but because I'm trying to finish this book and I'm starting in school, we are just solo sprinting until that happens, or I need a break. So for right now, we're getting double sprints for the week. So, but talking about that, I do have a doctor's appointment on Monday, so depending on how the doctor appointment goes, there either will be no stream on Monday or a really late stream on Monday. So just keep an eye out. I probably will not pre-schedule a stream. I may just randomly pop up if I decide to still stream on Monday. If not, I will see you guys on Friday for sprints. One of those two things will happen. So, yes. Awesome. We'll come by next time the stream is up. Yeah, sure. Of course. I don't know if it works for everyone, but everyone always says it. You can hit the little bell thingy and it should tell you when I'm live, question mark. You know, YouTube can be finicky, but you could try it. But yes, that is it. Thank you so much, everybody, and anyone who's watching the replay. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys for sure Friday, maybe Monday. All right. Bye.